All right. Hello, Auburn. Welcome to the Board of Health meeting for Tuesday, August 17th, 2021. It is now 6:04, and you can also join by remote participation if you'd like to dial in at 1-224-501-3412 with access code 236-529-341. And on the agenda as well, there's a computer code that you can join our meeting as well. And right now we'd like to do a call to order. At this time we have Lindsay Qatar present. Okay. And myself, Eric Otterson, our chairman, is unavailable this evening. We'd like to review the agenda. Darlene Coyle, is there anything you'd like to add or remove from this evening's agenda?
Thank you. I think we are going to go with the agenda as presented, unless there's anything that comes up.
Okay, very good. We have on the agenda tonight approval of minutes, and I was able to review the minutes. As were you, Lindsay, as well?
I was as well, yes.
Okay. So right now I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for May.
I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from May 27th, 2021.
All in favor to approve the minutes for May 27th, 2021?
Aye.
I second the motion. So I'd like to approve the minutes for May 27th, 2021. And I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes for July 15, 2021.
I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from July 15th, 2021.
I'd like to second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So I will make approve for July 15, 2021, the minutes from that date. At this moment, at 6:07 p.m., I'd like to open the hearing for 4 Carriage Drive, which is a septic local upgrade approval request.
I would like to make a motion to open the hearing for 4 Carriage Drive for the septic local upgrade approval
Those
request.
in favor?
Aye.
So we have a local upgrade approval request. This is for 4 Carriage Drive, and we do have the plan in front of you. The septic system is a system repair. So it's an existing property that has a septic system that needs to be upgraded. Soil testing has been completed, and the plan is before you. The local upgrade approval application request that we received from DC Engineering asks for approval required for a soil absorption system less than 5 feet to seasonal high groundwater. There's 4 feet provided. So the engineer has asked for a LUA request for the separation from groundwater to the bottom of the septic system, and this is something that is allowable. The soil evaluator statement is needed on the plan, so I've sent that and just a couple of comments, minor comments, over to the engineer to reflect that. It is something allowable by Title V, but the reason for the request is the upgraded system in full compliance with 310 CMR 15 is not feasible. It's an existing 4-bedroom dwelling with site constraints such as excessive fill and a steep slope. So that is reflected on the plan with the steep slope. So happy to answer any questions. I don't see the engineer here for the meeting, but he has submitted the paperwork required.
And you said that you submitted the request for changes, but he hasn't responded back yet or anything.
Right, there's a couple of minor changes that he should be able to reflect.
I was just gonna say, you don't expect that that's an issue for them at all?
I do not.
Okay. Okay. All right. Lindsay, do you have any questions or concerns?
I do not.
Okay.
You don't have any concerns?
No. So at this time, I would accept a motion to accept the septic local upgrade approval request with the provisions that it also meets the changes requested by the Board of Health Director Eileen Coyle at 4 Carriage Drive.
I would like to make a motion to accept the septic local upgrade approval request.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
At this time, it is now 6:11 p.m. and I'd like to entertain a motion to open the hearing for 411 Laurel Lane, excuse me, for the septic local upgrade approval request and variance to Auburn Septic Regulations 5.3A, system sewage flow design criteria.
I would like to make a motion to open the hearing for the 4 Laurel Lane septic local upgrade approval request and variance request to Auburn Septic Regulations 5.3A system sewage flow design criteria.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you. So just to be clear, I know we had 2 number 4s on the agenda. So this one is for Laurel Lane, and the plan you do have it in front of you. So this septic plan is also a system repair. So there is an existing house and septic system on the property. Soil testing has been completed. The design is before you, and this one has LUA requests. I'm just going to does have them listed on the plan. So we have LUA requests for the requirement for the septic tank and pump chamber to be less than 10 feet to the property line. So that is going to be here in the top of the plan. Just show you what's right here. Okay.
Okay, I see.
So that's less than 10 feet. That's one of the LUAs. So the tank and the pump chamber, 5 feet and 5.6 feet respectively. Do you see that?
I do, yes.
So that is supposed to be a 10-foot distance, and we are less than that. So that's one LUA. Second LUA is for the tank to be less than 50 feet to the well, 20 feet provided. So the tank right here, this is the septic tank, and this is the well location. Now, this one is, let me just show you. Here's the well, and here's the septic tank. This one is a little more challenging because the well is actually within the outline of the dwelling. So it's not that we haven't seen that before. Sometimes if it's an older house and a well original to the house, sometimes I've seen them in the basement. It's not it's not ideal, but it is has been identified within the dwelling. So I've asked for more clarification from the engineer on that, just because the setback distance is something that is being requested. So normally the tank and the well are required to be 50 feet, and he's asking for it to be 20 feet. Okay? So the concern is with anybody's well, we want to make sure that we're protecting the well because it's their drinking water supply. The next local upgrade approval request is for the soil absorption system to be less than 100 feet to the well. So this right here, again, the well is within the confines of the house, and to the corner of the soil absorption system is 65 feet. So if you're looking at this right here,
right here.
over, so that's going to be 65 feet, and the requirement is 100 feet. And then finally is the design for the town of Auburn requirement for design +1. So for the existing flow from the house +1. So that is a factor we have had in our regulation for as long as I have been here. Regulation was put into place to have a little bit of a buffer for the design. For system repairs, it is something that we have done as a variance to the regulation when there are challenges at the site. So for these requests, the engineer has provided the local upgrade approval forms, and just get to the existing 3-bedroom dwelling has site constraints with the existing well in shallow bedrock. So he's identifying that due to the shallow bedrock and the challenge of where the well is located, he's asking for these requests. I don't see that he has joined the meeting, so this is what we have presented to us. We have done a review and sent it out to him. I did ask for clarification if the well is actually located in the dwelling, because that's what it looks like to me. But I haven't. I want to make sure that we have that information if we're going to be approving local upgrade approval requests. So with the challenge of knowing exactly where the well is located, if it's listed as purported, so I don't know if that information came from the owner or if the engineer actually saw that. And I don't know if is it under the deck, is it in the cellar? The way that it's kind of shown on the plan is leads you to more information that's needed. So one of the suggestions that because of these well challenges, because you've got a setback distance here for the 65 feet, and then also to the tank. Again, our first, we want to make sure the septic is going to operate and do what it's supposed to do, but we also have to make sure that their existing well is going to, stay safe. In the past, we have suggested that as part of the LUAs, if the board were to consider approving them, conditional upon getting like a well test before. So getting a baseline well test to make sure that before you do anything that has to do with the septic, what's the well analysis look like right now? So that'll kind of give you your baseline. That is something that we have done in the past. That can be a before, and then you can require it, say 6 months or a year after the septic system has been put in. That one becomes a little bit more challenging because it has to be on the owner's responsibility to get that done.
Is there, number one, is there a system like within the Board of Health to like tickler sort of to track like when it's due and then for follow-up?
Yeah, we could do that. It's just, you know, the purpose of doing that is so that the property owners is actually making sure that they're checking their water supply.
Right.
So,
I mean,
you can certainly send it out, and, you know, if the board considers that as a condition, then we put it in an approval and an order to go out to them.
I mean, I don't want to make it, you know, more work for you. Obviously, the onus should be on the homeowner, and it's in their best interest. I mean, obviously.
Right, it's in their best interest, and honestly, if you approve it with that condition, then it's really their responsibility.
Right. The other thing is, you know, does something like this though perhaps warrant even not knowing where the well exactly is that a big enough issue to warrant even, you know, waiting to find out exactly where this is before even making any sort of decision about going forward with even saying, I approve it with this provisional
You could, if the board wants more information, and, you know, you want to continue it to another meeting, we can certainly do that. That's really up to the board. We just want to identify if, you know, we are still waiting for information back from the engineer. So, you know, kind of that should be identified in the next plan that comes back to us.
Yeah.
One other suggestion that I actually made in the review, and we have considered it in the past, is this septic tank. You can actually get a septic tank that's a monolithic tank. So typically the tanks come in two pieces and then they fit together. So they're over time, the gasket that seals them may degrade, but a monolithic tank is pretty much sealed from the bottom, so your seam is much higher. It's towards the top. So essentially, you are trying to protect anything that would come out of that tank over time. So that is something that was suggested also as part of the review. I don't have the revised plan back as of yet, but that is something that, you know, the board could consider as another piece to try to make sure that that the well is protected.
And so are you saying that the engineer is already in process of revising the plan?
Yeah, we're waiting for the revised plan to come back.
All right. So,
to identify, you know, just to make sure.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
So he would identify where the well is actually located?
Yeah, I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
That clarification I've asked for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry if I.
No, it's not your fault. I'm just, long day. Okay. I don't know, I guess I'm inclined to just maybe, I mean, there's a lot of LOA, and there's a lot of requests that are in this, a lot of variables, so.
And they do get, you know, part of the plan review is just identifying, you know, is there something that isn't clear that needs to be clarified?
Yeah.
So that is something that is especially with a well, if it is under the deck and it was just hard to see, or if it's actually, you know, located in the cellar, you know, we just want to make sure that we're clarified. Is this really 65 feet and 20 feet?
Yeah.
Or do you actually have like another 5 feet in its, say, 70. So it really, we have to have that clarification from the engineer to be able to feel comfortable knowing everything is.
I guess I'm a little bit more inclined to say I'd rather see the revised plans.
Yeah, same. I feel the same way.
I mean,
Kind of uneasy, but
yeah, I mean, it's hard because I'm not the expert in this, and I don't. And my only other consideration was, as you kind of said with the monolithic tank, is it almost seems like you need to have a little bit more protection when you have that much variance between the well and the pump.
So you would consider the monolithic
Consider
tank?
the monolithic,
Yep. Okay.
because that's a concern, considering for even any future.
Right, I think it's definitely another added layer of protection.
And I think the testing is a good idea, but again, I guess to even think of, it's still a good idea, I think, just to even see the revised plans, because I think your point is good, is like, well, really, where is this? I mean, that kind of adds another piece to the true distances here.
Yep. So that is an option. The other option is as well, if you do consider doing approvals of the request, you could make it conditionally upon that these distances are clarified by the engineer, so that they're not going to be like any less than what
That's a good point. Yes.
Say for example, the revised plan comes back and it's really not 65 feet or 20 feet respectively, but say it's 60 feet.
Yeah.
And if it's any less than what's here, then, maybe it's something that you want to come back to the board.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it, so as not to hold them up that much more.
Right, you could do it with conditions just to make sure that, the information on the well is clarified and that the distances are also, are solid.
So to approve the LOAs with conditions that the revised plans do show the accurate placement of the well, that the distances shown are not less than what had been part of the original plans, that the well testing, a baseline test, and then a test a year later is in place. And then in terms of the monolithic tank, I don't want to put any undue financial hardship on the homeowner as well. Do we have any idea about what, is it a drastic cost difference?
It is an added cost, because it's made, it's manufactured so that it is going to have a higher seam. I can't tell you what the added cost is. I do know there is a difference, but it also has to do with the protection of the water supply. So it really is. It's really up to the board.
Yeah.
It would be my suggestion.
Yeah.
But
I'm concerned. Obviously that's what we're here for, is to protect, the public and not just think about, the money. So I think that would make me feel more comfortable in approving the LUAs as it is. Lindsay, your thoughts?
no, I agree. I think asking for a clarification of like the locations and the distances would be a good idea.
But approving the LUAs under those
As long
conditions
as
that we
they are
talked about.
accurate.
Yeah. Okay. All right. right, I think that would be,
Okay.
I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make sure you're comfortable.
Yeah, I am. I feel comfortable with those conditions in place.
Okay.
All right, so at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept the septic local upgrade approval request and variance of 4 Laurel Lane with the following conditions. That the resubmitted plans show the accurate location of the well, that the distance of the well from the pump and the drainage fields are not less than what's shown on the first submitted plans, that the tank would be a monolithic tank, that the homeowner obtains a baseline well test, and then another well test at 6 months, and really a year, I think, even. What are your thoughts, or just a year?
We haven't done it for 2. We've done it for consecutive years, but I think in this case, I think you'd be fine
At a year? Okay, then let's say that.
Not in the past where we've done
Okay,
a
so
year.
baseline water well test, and then repeat at a year.
Okay, so we'll do a well test.
Yes.
Initially.
Yes, correct,
Before,
initially.
before
yes, yeah.
installation,
Yeah,
and then
before
1
installation.
year after the COC is issued.
After the COC is issued.
Okay. Okay, so you're entertaining the motion?
I am entertaining the motion.
I would like to make a motion to approve the request with the conditions, like you said, with the well and the LUAs, and also with the testing beforehand. And then you said a year after a year. Is anything else?
As presented.
As presented.
Sound okay?
On the plan, yes.
Paula, do you have all that? So monolithic tank, testing prior to septic installation and 1 year after the COC.
And
Verification of the well
you're on the
location.
And as long as the distances of the well on the resubmitted plans are not less than what was shown on the originally submitted plans. All right. All those in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
Beautiful.
All right. Thank you for allowing that nice discussion.
That was good.
Okay, and now on the agenda, is this the hearing too that I open? Is this the hearing? Or is that just a?
No, it's not.
oh,
It's not just a
Oh,
discussion
yeah, I
item.
see now, sorry. So I guess we're going to talk about that public health excellent shared service grant, which is a really nice thing that's happened for the town and the other towns, and it's wonderful.
Yes, thank you. So I know that we've had a couple discussions about it. This is really we are just bringing it back to the board just to kind of keep you updated. So I know Eileen at the last meeting was able to get the letter of commitment. She explained that. Just throughout the grant process, with any of the grants, they have there's a lot of items that we have to do, and we just have to make sure that everybody's comfortable with them. So the grant award it has been approved by the state. We got the letter of commitment. I know you signed that. We've submitted that, and we just wanted to make sure. I think Eileen discussed it, but we just wanted to make sure that you understood there as part of the intermunicipal agreement, we'll have an oversight board. So what that, I think you probably saw, it was, it's made up of it's made up from a representative from the town, and then the town has a backup. So should the board member, the oversight board member, not be able to attend for any reason, I believe their quarterly meetings is what I think is identified in the IMA. If for some reason that initial person couldn't attend, then we have a backup. So that's very similar to the way that we do it for like the Region 2. So if by chance, like I can't attend, that Eileen attends, and then vice versa. So that is the makeup of the oversight board, and we wanted to just get the board's input to vote for representative. So oversight member to attend. Again, the meetings, I believe, are going to be quarterly. They're meant to basically, provide input, talk about how things are going, if there is any, issues that need to be brought up, if there's anything that's going well. I think the main reason for having the oversight board is to be able to provide direction throughout the grant. So the grant is 3 years, and obviously we haven't gotten into it, and it's going to be new for everybody. But it's several towns working together towards the same goal. So, you'll have a regional health inspector and then a regional health educator, like a coordinator. And we're hoping that having some help for our Board of Health as part of this grant will help us, take at least some of the load off with everything going on with the pandemic. So we want to be able to. We have a lot of responsibilities, and we want to keep doing those responsibilities, but also, balancing what we need to do for the pandemic. So we just need a official vote from the board as to who you would like as the oversight board member to represent Auburn, and then the backup.
Okay. So I'd like you to be the official board member.
Okay.
And then Eileen, would you be the backup? Would you accept that position? Okay. And so I vote yes, and I guess Lindsay, would you agree with that?
Yes, so do I just vote yes?
Yeah, do you want to entertain a motion?
Oh, okay. I have to
Yeah.
do the, sorry.
I was
my
waiting for
formality. Would you entertain, I'd like to entertain a motion to have Darlene Coyle be our official board member for the Public Health Excellence Shared Governance Grant. And Eileen will be our backup for that.
I would like to make a motion to have Darlene Coyle be the official
Oversight.
oversight,
Yep. Sorry. Oversight board member, I think is what
Oversight,
they're calling it.
yes, oversight board member, and Eileen as secondary board member for
All those in favor?
I.
Thank you. Okay, so, and actually, it's not on here, but it's something that just came up. It's actually a little bit of good news. I sent out, you'll see it kind of in your email when you get home, but we have good news on the other grant that is a shared service excellent grant. We just got notification for the COVID-19 case investigation and contact tracing grant that we had brought also before you for the last meeting. We just got word from the state that that's approved.
Oh, that's very
Yeah, so very exciting. That one is a little bit smaller in scope of town-wise, not in, it's 3 towns versus 6 towns. So that is very exciting. We're really happy, and we're hoping that helps alleviate some of the time that we spend on case investigation and whatever's going to happen in the fall. Eileen has taken on a lot of time. All different times. So this is nights, weekends. It's the cases come in, 24 hours. So Eileen has spent a lot of time over the past year and a half, and she has done an unbelievable job. But this grant is hopefully going to give her some relief to help with the case investigation and contact tracing. So we have this as a resource. We have the contact tracing at the state as a resource. So we're hoping that this will help us in whatever is coming in the next coming months, with the changes in the pandemic and the changes in the uptick in cases kind of leads into the next thing. But just having that is just kind of a little bit light at the end of the tunnel. But we couldn't have got to this point without all the time that Eileen has taken out to keep us above water and to keep us on track. So,
Thank you. It's a lot of work, I'm sure. All right, thank you. So we want to talk about COVID then?
Sure. So I just wanted to, I wanted to just let the board know that, with the changes happening with COVID, I think everybody has kind of seen there's a lot of, towns that are considering different changes with the rising cases. And just wanted to let you know, we are watching it closely. We can see that there are, I don't know if we're up to 20 towns, but somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 towns that their boards of health have put some mask advisories back into place. Obviously, at the state level, there's no requirements other than the what the governor has put in place for public transportation and private transportation, like the Ubers and that sort of thing. Hospitals and those type of specifics where you have to wear a mask, but at the local level we are seeing a lot of our boards of health kind of consider some changes. So not proposing any changes, but I did at least want to let you know that it is something that we're watching. We're trying to stay in tune as to anything that's happening at the state level. We do have our weekly conference call that we have with the state, and I don't see anything happening with mask changes as of today. With anything in the pandemic, that could change tomorrow. But as for right now, just at least wanted to let you know we are watching it, and we're able to take direction from the board if that is something that you want to consider, anywhere down the line.
I work at UMass, as a nurse, and I can tell you that, it's definitely changing there. They've already they have already dedicated one ward to COVID patients again. And they've, testing everybody once again, so we can wear, the respirator masks. And in 1 week, cases have quadrupled. And so it's definitely, they've changed their visitor policy again back to one patient. So it's already being reflected in the hospital setting for sure.
So just, I think everybody's kind of noticed that. Again, Eileen is watching you know, what's happening, and we definitely do have, you know, an increase in cases, and I think just being aware of that and knowing that, you know, we may have to look and see what happens at the state level and considering what happens at the local level. So nothing to change today, but obviously, you know, the board can let me know if you're seeing something that you're concerned of and we have to bring it back to a meeting. Just like we have in the past, we have the ability to pull together, you know, a quick meeting. You know, I know you guys are very flexible for pulling together quickly when we need to. So again, this is just to be aware, and we'll take it and see where it goes. Thank you.
So, for the director's items, first thing is correspondence.
So we don't have any additional items there. I think I just have a couple things I wanted to tell you in this under this category. So dog license reminder. I know we kind of keep that on there all the time. So we strongly encourage everybody to come in and get their dog licensed or use the online. Anybody can apply for a dog license online, and we do have a payment option that they can do there. That is something we want to just make sure people are licensing their animal and before any late fees apply in ticketing. Tobacco control. Just wanted to let you know, so tobacco control, there's definitely a lot going on at the state, and with all of the tobacco laws, there's a lot of changes, a lot of towns that are, you know, have their own specific bylaws, and it is something that we've brought up in the past, and a regulation that we would like to update. And we actually used to have a tobacco specific inspector, and they did a great job. Kind of with the changes over the past couple of years, this actually used to be through a grant through the state. It's no longer set up that way. So I'm just trying to see if we're able to get something like that back. To be able to, you know, get somebody that, if we get a tobacco inspector that does it all the time, they're up to date on all, you know, the laws, electronic cigarettes, the vaping, there's all sorts of different, I'm going to call it apparatus, that, you know, we're not always knowing exactly what it is because it's that new and the market is always targeting towards kids. So something that may look like, I don't know, like a little thumb drive is really like something that somebody's using to vape. So we'd like to just try to see if we can explore and get somebody that may be adept at doing those inspections. So doing, you know, kind of putting some feelers out there. Hopefully we'll have an update for you next time around. Solid waste, I think Eileen, she gave you an update about the plastic bag, the bylaw that is going into place. So since that meeting, we have sent out, Eileen, was it like close to 350? Yeah.
A little more than 300.
Yeah. So we have notification that went out to the businesses regarding the implementation of the plastic bag reduction bylaw. Again, our target date is for October, and we are hoping to be able to get some, you know, get out out into the community. We have a couple of farmers markets in the next couple of weeks that we're hoping to be able to get out to, and we have requested to be on a couple of business meetings as well to be able to do kind of like a question answer and be able to kind of help people make the transition. So we realize it's something that over, I think the numbers over close to 150 municipalities in Massachusetts have already done this. We're not the, we're doing it. So it's at least something that people have heard of, and it's something that has been in the pipeline. It was put on hold, to not put any undue stress on businesses in the past year and a half. But we're at the point where, things were improving. So the Board of Selectmen really wanted to kind of continue forward. So that part is in process. I'm happy to report on that. Central Mass Mosquito Control, we do have the program. It's actually, we get calls from the public on this, and so they can do a request for spraying or opting out. That's all handled through Central Mass Mosquito Control directly, and it's a great program. We're very fortunate to have it. I have one final thing, if you're okay, for communicable disease. Okay. So this is the latest communicable disease report from the nurse through August 1st. Thank you. Any questions for the nurse? Okay. And I think, do you have anything, Eileen? Paul? I don't think I have anything else unless you have questions. Does the audience have any questions?
Thank you. All right, so that's it. I'd entertain a motion to close tonight's meeting, August 17th, 2021.
I'd like make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:51 p.m. Aye.
All right, thank you, Auburn. Tonight at 6:52, we'll say goodnight. Stay well.